Hey guys, and welcome. It is such an honor to be here today again, and thank you for joining me for the simple truth. This morning, I want to talk about something out of my tips for success, which it hampers a lot of agents. And what I'm referring to is what we call the emergency calls that we get. You see, so many times we actually think that we are plumbers, locksmiths, builders, and this can actually overpower and actually create quite a bit of a tension, anxiety within your life and within your business. So this is what I want to share with you. You see, when you're in real estate, you've actually got three jobs. And these are very simple jobs. And if you can actually well define these jobs, it'll help you to understand what I'm actually getting around. First is we get listings and we need to market those listings. We also need to advise our clients on the selling process and the buying process. And the last one is to sell and go through that final transfer. Now, I was sitting with a client, it was about a week and a half ago, and they said to me, Stuart, I got this call. It was about 10 p.m. on a Friday night. My client, who had just done a key handover, not even about 2 weeks prior to that, phoned me up and said, hey, I've locked myself out of my house. Please help. And my client was like, well, now what do? I'm not a locksmith. And for the entire weekend, the stress levels, the anxiety levels started to go through the roof. You see, he didn't know what to do, but he felt compelled to actually help. So this became what we refer to as a real estate emergency. And this real estate emergency not only crushed his weekend, he just could not do any business. In fact, it carried over to Monday and Tuesday before they actually managed to get everything resolved. Now, this is where you've got to take recognition of what your duties are. And I said, market, sell, and advise your clients. And we're not jumping into every single phone call as an emergency. You see, what we need to do when we're sitting with our clients, and this is my tip for you, when you're sitting with your clients, especially right in the beginning, whether it's with a seller and you're taking on a mandate, or with it's with buyers that are going through this process, we need to set these boundaries. And these boundaries are typically time boundaries. And I know a lot of you are going to say, but Stuart, I get these after our phone calls. I need to sort them out. Well, what you must remember is if you're taking calls after hours, you're going to start getting this imbalance in your work and life, which means that if you're starting to put more time into your work, it's going to start having a negative impact onto your personal life. And the same happens if you put too much time into your personal life, it starts having a negative impact on your business. So you've got to have this work-life balance. So we create these boundaries. You need to set up boundaries which are time bound. Now, what I mean by that, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. These are your times where you're going to be active and you're going to do those business calls. Within that, you're going to respond in the most professional manner as you can possibly be. So time boundaries is so important to help you in this process. But then it goes a little bit further. What happens if you do get calls that are after hours? What happens if you do get those emergencies that your buyers and sellers, they really need to get hold of you and they need to get a solution? Well, here's something that I actually, when I spoke with the same client, and I said, so you got that call 10 o'clock on Friday, you were stressed throughout the weekend. What exactly happened? And they said to me, well, actually what happened is they phoned one of their family members who had a spare key and allowed them to open up. Now, for the entire weekend, he's been rushing around, trying to arrange locksmiths, trying to see what he can do. What you need to do is once you've set up your boundaries, anything that happens after hours, you need to set expectations. Now, this could be with automated messages or a voice message on your actual phone. So if someone phones you or sends you a message, you can respond by going, hey, we thank you for your call. We're unavailable at the moment, or we have limited access to our messages or our phone, but we will definitely come back to you first thing in the morning. Now, here's what happens when you set expectations. You see, one, you're going to actually feel more relaxed within yourself. That anxiety, that stress level is going to reduce. In the morning, 80% of those emergencies, in fact, have been sorted out by themselves. That's the truth of it. They actually sort them out by themselves. Yes, there are those small percentages that, yes, needs your input. But this will give you the opportunity in the morning to start to prepare. So when you call your clients, you're able to give them that solution straight away. You see, most of the time when we get these emergencies, we need to now contact somebody else. We need to try and get more information. Now, at 10 o'clock at night, you're not going to get that information from most people. So all that's going to do is going to create higher levels of frustration in your own, and you're going to get those stress levels, anxiety levels through the roof. Whereas in the morning, you can start making those calls and you can actually then start to respond to it. So those real estate emergencies, guys, I want you just to remember, real estate emergencies will put you into a high level of stress, and that's not what we want. We want low levels of stress so that you can have high levels of success. That is so key for your business. So make sure, one, set up those boundaries, know what time you start, know what time you finish, and have a expectation of anything that happens after hours so that your clients know exactly what's going to happen next. We always have those 1 in a million that, yes, we have to respond to it, but those become fewer and fewer and fewer. And you're going to actually become more professional in your business. Thank you for joining me today, and I cannot wait to share another tip with you next week, same time.